Hitting the behind the ball with his short irons and wedges. I'm going to talk about that tonight and give you some corrections for that. I'm out here on the driving range, just finished up teaching. It's a beautiful night, beautiful spring night. We don't have much wind. Nice warm night, clear skies, nice to get out and practice. So I'm just going to go through some of these swing mechanics and some of these things that go on that cause these fat shots for you. Now, typically there's a couple patterns that will show up when we're hitting behind the golf ball. A lot of it's related to swing sequence, where the arms and body get out of sequence on the downswing. We start swinging too much with the arms, and then the club releases a little bit too early, so it bottoms out before the golf ball. That's one of the big culprits. And then the other one too is just instability of the lower body, where the lower body slides a little bit on the backswing, and we get a little bit out of balance, and then as a result we can't get back to the golf ball. And a lot of it all again relates back to the swing sequence of motion, that correct pattern of motion back and through the golf ball. So I'll just demonstrate the first one I see a lot of, where we get a little bit of that hip slide to strike that golf ball, and we end up hitting behind the ball. So what happens with this swing, player will set up and they'll start taking that club back. They might get a little bit quick with their arms and whipping that club back, but what happens as they take the club back, the lower body starts to move with the golf club. So we see a little bit of this hip slide go back. And when I slide the hips, my weight goes to the outside of that back foot too much, and then it's too hard to get back to the golf ball to strike the golf ball. You'll end up being a little bit behind it, and the club bottoms out behind the golf ball, so the strike isn't very solid. The club is bottoming out before the golf ball rather than after it. So the player takes the club back, the lower body slides with the golf club, the weight goes back out over here. It's hard to get back to the golf ball to strike the golf ball solidly. So the club bottoms out too soon. As opposed to what we want when we take that club back, when we've got that right sequence of motion, the club head moves first, then the lead arm, and then the torso, and then the lower body. We end up getting this pivoting action where the weight will move into the back foot, but as I rotate back, the foot stays braced. The knee might straighten a little bit, but I'm stable in the foot, and the weight stays on the inside of the foot, and the weight goes back into the heel and stays there rather than sliding out like that. So a good fix for that is to stabilize the lower body. I'll set up and do some practice drills where I'll take my stance and I'll open up my hips, and I'll just stand up on the toe of the back foot here. I'm up here and I'm pressing my weight over here into my left side. So this helps stabilize the lower body, and I'll make a few practice swings from here. And as I do that, you can see where the club is descending down past the golf ball. So I've stabilized the lower body here, so I'm turning my upper body back against that. And then when I come down, the club's going to bottom out on that slightly descending blow past the golf ball. So the divot point is happening right here, just past the golf ball. So that'll be a good descending square contact with the irons. It'll be a good solid shot. There. Get myself set and hit it. Back and through. It'll be a good clip. You might even hit it a touch thin, which is good. I'll do another one again. Ready? I'm set. And through. You'll get just that nice clipping action. It's solid there. And then, okay, I've got a feel for that. Okay, then I can try to go make a swing and hit the golf ball. You do a couple of the drill swings, then the ball. A couple of the drill swings, and then the ball. And just get yourself set, and then make your swing. And hit through it. So that helps to give you the feel for that correct swing sequence when I brace that lower right side. I'm just turning against my trail side there, right? It's hard to do this slide thing going on here. You be stable and turn. And it'll help with your swing sequence coming down too, because gotta get this mask down here, but never thought I'd be teaching golf lessons with a mask on, but hey, that's just the world we live in right now. But I even forgot to have it on. I'm getting so used to it. But you know, when I'm set up like this here, I can turn against my back side, right? So it's that turn and pivot, and then this way I can unwind better coming back into the golf ball. Another good drill to help with that, to help improve your contact with the irons, is to hit balls with your feet together, turning in place. This way I'm going to stay centered. It helps minimize this sideways sliding of the hips, and also too the standing up and down, which is common as well when you're hitting behind the golf ball. Typically golfers on the backswing, they'll change the position of their torso and they'll stand up. So what goes up must come down. So now I've got to go back down at the golf ball. And there's a good chance you're going to bottom out before the golf ball. So practicing, standing with my feet together, I'm going to stay centered and turn in place. It's going to give you that feeling for that good centered pivot. And you can see where my bottom point is. It's past the golf ball. The divot point is past here. Really good solid strikes there because I'm staying centered and turning in place. It gives you the feel for that good pivot going back and then through the golf ball. Because what will happen when I get out of sequence here, well, you're going to be out of sequence coming down. And then the lower body is late, upper body's getting ahead, club's going to bottom out. So those are two really good versatile practice drills. Feet together. Good solid clip. And then bracing the backside. And through. Again, good solid strike and clip. So add those into your practice routine. If you find you're hitting them behind the ball, they'll help stabilize you on the backswing, give you that good backswing turn, make it easier to have a good transition coming due, and make good solid contact. And have those good short irons, those good solid short irons. Barry from Hole in One Success. I want to thank Rick for that comment, that lesson question. It's an excellent, excellent post. I could do a whole bunch of series on that, hitting behind the golf ball, because there's so many things that go on with that, and it affects so many parts of your game scoring, right? You hit a couple good shots down the fairway, and then you hit behind the ball, and you just kind of go, oh, I'm short again, right? And then you hit a couple more to get onto the green, so it can be a little bit frustrating. So let's get out there and play some golf, stay safe, have some fun, and we'll see you again.